Welcome to Honest Whispers Preview for Sale. On this video, I'll be previewing Namco Girls Figure Collection, Hitomi Yosino, released by TYC as part of the SR series or Super Real Figure series. She's figure number 3 of series number 1. She comes with the base. She's approximately 4.5 inches tall, and she is from the Ridge Racer series. I'm going to go over 6 different categories to preview this. And I'm doing a preview rather than a full review because I listed and sold this online, so I won't be taking her out of the package. First category is design, pretty much covers the look, the pose, and the concept. And her pose is very subtle. She's just standing, but what I do like is how her right arm is folded behind her back and kind of holding or touching her elbow. So it kind of adds a bit of sexiness to it. She's really not that well known, so really hard to interpret, what she's doing. But she is a racer girl, so usually they do pose pretty sexy. Other than that, it's just pretty much a standing pose. Nothing dynamic, nothing really that stands out, other than, again, the way her right arm is folded behind her back, which is kind of cool in itself. But still, I give it a very high score, a 9 out of 10 on the design. Just mainly because it looks good. Next category is sculpting. Pretty much covers the details, quality of the sculpt or molding, or the execution. And as you can see, her hair, not as detailed, but I like the subtle detail as far as like sculpting. Not all the strands, but just some of the strands, and you can see how some strands, you just have a deeper, darker line to it compared to others. Her bangs are nicely done. It has some randomness to it. She has sunglasses on top of her head. Her body is really well proportioned. Just the way her arms, waist, hip, legs, feet, everything's pretty much nice and it fits. Nothing stands out, and at the same time, she's not like some kind of a warrior or a fighter like you would see as Taki or Cassandra. So you just have this nice feminine body, which is nice. When I looked at this really closely, I don't see much sculpting or molding issues or flaws. The quality of the mold is pretty well done. Now, I did notice here that her right hand that's folded behind her, how it's touching her left elbow. There is, I don't know if it's just made to make it sturdy, but there is a piece that's molded into it. Now, you can't really see it, so I don't really see it as an issue. But either way, it is something that could be, some people might look at it as an issue. Most of her fingers are well proportioned, but I just feel like her pinky looks a little bit stubby and kind of short compared to all her other fingers. So that might be a slight issue. But other than that, a really high quality, especially for a figure this size. And that's why I give the sculpting score a near perfect 9 out of 10. Next category is colors. Pretty much covers the accuracy of the color, quality of the paint, and quality of the paint applications. Again, not too many know who Hitomi is from Ridge Racer, but she is kind of that racer girl, like in the beginning of the races. She's the one who says like ready, set, go or something like that. So, but as far as the color goes, it is definitely the color you would see her wearing, that orange and black. So really hard to go wrong there, especially the way she really has simplified colors. There's not too, I mean, it's just, especially her costume, if you count her glasses, there's really 3 colors to her costume. Just orange, black, and that, I guess, dark pink to the glasses. Now, when I look at some paint issues, really hard to tell, especially at a distance. But when you do look up close, you do see some slightly squiggle lines, like, squiggly lines, I guess, or edges, especially on that orange. I guess it's harder to tell when I'm looking through it, but you can see right there in the heel, there's like a black dot kind of going through. I mean, it's very, very subtle. Like, it's something even even up close, you're not going to be able to tell. And that's why I give the color score a near perfect 9 out of 10. Next category is packaging. Pretty much covers the design, the look, and the functionality of the packaging. As you can see, this is a blister card packaging or bubble card packaging. And one thing I do like about is the consistency of the look between all the other characters from the series. And yet you do have some individualization. You have the figure number here, her name on the side, and even the series it's from, although it doesn't actually say the series name, it just says her name. But still, if you're familiar with Namco's Ridge Racer series, you'll definitely know, who she is. And on the back, it's pretty much the same with all the other characters from the series. But what I really like about these packaging is that they added these ridges here, or these folded lines on the bubble or the blister part of the packaging. And what it does is it adds this sturdiness to it. So compared to something that's completely smooth or flat, which might have a tendency to, get dented or create creases, this one really adds a lot of sturdiness to it. And right here is probably the best part, the way they designed this part with the little edge right here. And that's why when you stand it on the packaging, it's pretty much standing at a, it's almost straight. If it didn't have this, it would definitely be leaning to its front. Or in some cases, I've seen packages where you can't even stand it on its own, and it'll just kind of flop over to its front. So that's why with the functionality and everything, really well thought out, and that's why I give the packaging score a perfect 10 out of 10. Next category is value. Pretty much covers the suggested retail price versus quality, or suggested retail price versus aftermarket price, or of course aftermarket price versus the quality. Now, I sold this as a bundle for $38 plus shipping and I guess tax. It adds up to about $51 and change. I've seen it online listed on Amazon for $49.99 plus, well, free shipping, but you do have to pay tax. So probably be a little over $52. Now, if you were looking up Hitomi and buying her individually, really isn't much aftermarket value to her, mainly to the fact that she's not really well known, not too many fans of her. So not much demand for her, and that's why there really is no aftermarket value. I think when it first came out, they were individually at around $5.99, $6.99. But with Hitomi, even now, you'll probably be able to find it at around the same price, or maybe even lower at $4.99, but definitely around the same original price at about $5.99 or so. And that's why for something this old, I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's definitely over 10 years old, no aftermarket value. Therefore, I give the value score a slightly below average 4 out of 10. Final category is overall, pretty much accumulates the 5 prior categories: design, sculpting, colors, packaging, and value. And for me, the reason why I sold this in a bundle with Taki and Cassandra, not only is it a complete set, but if I ended up selling them individually, most likely Taki's gonna sell first, then Cassandra, then I might be stuck with Hitomi unless I go really low or under its original value. So that's why I figured I'd just sell it as a bundle or as a complete set. Huge flaw in that. But as far as just the way the figure looks, quality of the sculpting and the painting, really can't go wrong with it. So if you like racer girls in general, definitely something that I would recommend. Otherwise, if you're looking for it as an investment or something like that, definitely wouldn't recommend that. But still, overall look and everything is nice. And that's why I give the overall score a slightly above average. 7 out of 10. So to recap, design, 9 out of 10. Sculpting, 9 out of 10. Colors, 9 out of 10. Packaging, 10 out of 10. Value, 4 out of 10. And overall, 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Continue reading the King James Version Bible and eat your vitamin C's daily.